What's up, everybody, and welcome into the Backliners podcast. Man, it's been so long since I've said that. Good to be back here on the podcast. It's Aggro and Barracuda as per usual, but for this episode, we are joined by none other than Wormy herself, the Lermster, Get Lermed, whatever different Lermy nickname you want to apply. Lermy is my coworker and another associate game designer at High Res and is Ishtar's designer. Lermy, welcome to the podcast, first of all. And secondly, congratulations on releasing your second god. Ishtar is so cool. Like, not even like... And you know what? I'm not going to take credit away from you because I'm going to give you so much credit during this whole podcast. But I will say that the coolest thing about Ishtar has actually nothing to do with you at all. It's the fact that she uses lightning. And lightning is inherently the coolest thing that any character can do in any given situation is use lightning. So it didn't even occur to me until this is actually true. I knew that it was like a lightning god, and I was like, I'd made some jokes about it in the past. I was the one like driving the camera during the patch notes show, and I'm walking around like as they're like talking, and I'm like, wait a minute, Ishtar's got like little lightning sparks with each step that she has, like little sparks of lightning. Mm-hmm. Wait, that's cool. That's cool. Wait, this is garbage. I didn't know. There's a lightning god, and I didn't even get to do it. Like, what is this? I was like, what? Like, I was so mad. I didn't realize that she had that much lightning, and I love lightning. So I'm jealous, but I'm also, I'm glad that you did it because it turned out very, very well. But you did have lightning, and so therefore it was easy.
I mean, I'm sure you'll get a lightning god someday. There's plenty of them out there, right?
I would be lying if I said I hadn't literally Googled lightning gods mythology and looked every time AJ is like, all right, let's brainstorm some gods for next year. I'm like, lightning gods, like what? How do I find more god of storms? And there's some options.
I was going to ask, there are options. Are they bad options or are they just
we've hit
He's
a lot
not particularly enthused by any.
Okay.
Yeah, we've hit a lot of the big ones, I would say. But here's the advantage of lightning, you guys, is that even a minor god that is lightning themed would be cool, would be awesome. So it doesn't matter how weak the lore component is of a lightning god. Lightning is enough on its own.
I'm not gonna lie. I really wanted to disagree with you about the whole lightning thing, and I'm realizing that... Yeah, it was going to be really good content, but I'm realizing I will just lose the argument. And lightning gods are... they're inherently cooler.
They're the
coolest. The buttons inherently look cooler.
Why do you think... Let me ask you this.
You win. You win before I even start.
To all lightning deniers out there, okay? To all lightning deniers out there. Why do they give lightning to the evil people in every possible pop culture thing? And by every possible, I mean the two that I'm thinking of, which are Star Wars and Avatar. How come the Sith and the Fire Nation are the two that get to use lightning, huh? Because they have to be likable in some way. And that's the best way to make them likable and cool.
Is that the only way?
I would argue it's the easiest. No, I'm not saying the only way. I'm just saying the easiest way. Everyone's like, I would never be a Sith. That's dumb. And then someone sees Force lightning and they're like, well, I could dabble,
Surely.
I could try just once to see what Force lightning's like. And then all of a sudden, bang, you're a Sith.
Lightning, not even once.
It's addictive, It's a real... Okay, that was gonna get down a really bad rabbit hole. I'm turning away. I'm steering away from the cliff.
This second episode diff right now.
Seriously. We're a little punch drunk already.
Sorry, Lermy.
Yeah.
You're along for the ride here.
Lermy's used to it by now. I troll Lermy so often. It is actually... I feel legitimately bad sometimes. I really do.
There was one Friday, I remember we got particularly wound up about something, and I don't know if we got any work done that day because we just spent the whole day trolling about random stuff.
It was so bad. It was the first day I started Adderall. It was my first day on Adderall.
Oh, nice.
And I talked, let's say, I worked from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. that day. I talked from 10:02 until 6 p.m. on the dot. I didn't shut up the whole day. And poor Lermy was the one who had to hear me the entire time. And I made sure, I hope Clumsy and AJ aren't listening to this, we did not get a single second of work done that entire Friday.
You know,
and I made
sometimes
sure
Fridays are like that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's a Friday. Like, does it really matter?
Yes and no. You know, you should, I think that it's important to, like, put forth a good effort and try. But, you know, we needed a simple mental health day on a Friday. That's all we needed.
Yeah, that sounds like a double scrim block that you shouldn't be scrimming on. You're just like, well, this is scuffed already. I feel like we should just, like, have fun the rest of the block, or just cancel it, you know?
Yes.
So it sounds like you guys did the right thing, because, like, if you did work, it would have been, like, quality work, you know?
And it's
You're already
not
in
that
that
we didn't
mood.
talk about Smite either.
Oh, yeah,
we just were talking about Smite in a mood.
Trying to help you guys out here, like, a little bit here. Like, I'm really trying to save your job, guys.
No, that's really good work by you.
Thank you.
You bringing that up, though, does make me think of how, and Lermy will certainly back me up here, there are definitely days in playtests that we load in, and I know that we are not going to get a whole lot out of this playtest.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
There are some days.
Yeah, you know, in the lobby, like, the way that everyone was talking beforehand, like, the discussion about teams and all that kind of stuff, you just know, like, well, this one is just going to be, we're just play testing for bugs on this one, you know, not for balance or something like that. And it's good to have those. I think that's helpful.
Good to have a goal in mind.
Sometimes you need them, you know.
Yeah.
Those are the mental health play tests.
Yeah, those were.
We just need to play a game right now. I don't know.
Exactly. All right, let's actually talk about Ishtar for a little bit here, at the very least. New hunter. I think before we start, like, breaking down each ability or anything like that, Lermy, Yu Huang was your first god that you released. How different was it working on a hunter in comparison to a mage?
Oh my god, so incredibly different, right? Because mages can be anything, basically. They can be your Ao Kuangs that are assassins, and then they could be your Chongas, your Afros, where they're healers, whereas hunters, they basic attack. They just have to feel good basic attacking, and that was something that we really focused on with Ishtar in particular, especially giving her, like, all those different variations of the basic attacks. Like, that was kind of her whole thing, right? Because her title is the Goddess of Love and War, so obviously she's a crazy strong woman who knows a lot about different weapons. So we're like, well, we can't give her different weapons because she's a hunter, so let's give her different bow shots. So that's, like, the next closest thing. And then we were like, well, how do we make all these bow shots feel really cool and unique and different? And we ended up going with the 3 that we did. We had a couple of other options that we considered, and we kind of put them on the back burner. They may not be dead. You know, who knows? Maybe someday they'll come back for another hunter. But we picked the 3 that we really liked the most and went with it on top of your normal, everyday basic attack. And honestly, like, it was really fun. I'm not gonna lie, I had so much fun, brainstorming with Ishtar because she's just such a unique character.
Yeah, it's always, like, it's really fun when there's really one thing that I think is a really big strength of Smite in general is that for gods that have really strong, clearly defined lore, you get so much, like, cool inspiration of, like, oh, you know, we can make this little nod to, like, this story by doing this, and, like, oh, we can incorporate this myth into the kit in this way. And then there are gods that have less defined lore, and with those, I think it's really fun to be able to be like, oh, you know, this, like, we know this little tidbit, we can kind of interpret it in this way and do, like, this really cool thing. And so there's 2 different angles on, like, the polar opposite ends that let you, like, do some really cool brainstorming. And Ishtar was certainly more of the former, where she has very well-defined lore, tons of very clear myths,
is
and
that
a lot
bad in a
to do.
sense where you feel like you have, like, too many things to cover, or is that not an issue?
No, I mean, there are some ways that we can incorporate it even outside the kit, right?
Okay.
But when, like, at least personally for me, because I've done exercises even beyond, like, the gods that are out, like, Yu Huang and Ishtar are the 2 that are in the game right now, but I've done several other, like, kits for just practice and other things like that, and, like, looking up lore and like trying to decipher lore of a character that like doesn't really have any is really, really hard, because you gotta have to just make up their powers of what feels right. Like, what would this character do if they were fighting? And you're just sitting there like staring at your screen like, they have a bow, so like they'll use their bow, I guess.
They do be shooting though, I guess.
It can be difficult, but that's one of the things that I really like. The team that we work on so much is that like we have, when we get in those unhinged moments, like I'm not gonna lie to you, like those are some of the best ideas that we like ever have. I'm not even joking, because I don't know, we talk a lot, right, in our group at least, when it comes to cool things that we can put into Smite and cool things that we can make, and like sometimes we'll say some stuff and it will make absolutely no sense, and then all of a sudden we'll come back the next day after having thought about the stuff that we were talking about and go, wait a second, we could actually do this. Like we could do that. That's how like Griffin Wing started out, right? It was like, what if we like just broke auto attacks, and then we actually found out how we could do that, and then we did it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, all the time. I think I'm the most guilty of it, though I don't know if Lemmy disagrees. I feel like all the time I just come in with like the most unhinged statements, like, what if we just did this? And it just makes, it's completely impossible. There's no way we could do it. It makes absolutely no sense. And then it's usually either Lermy or Clumsy who goes, well, why don't we just do it like this? And it's like almost the same thing, but it's like way more doable. And I'm like, holy crap, that's exactly what we should do. Like, that makes so much more sense. Like, I definitely am not great about like doing the realistic things, and they are much better at like condensing my absolute psycho ideas. But I think everyone kind of comes in with psycho ideas from time to time, and then like sometimes Lermy will be like, I'll get a message on Discord at 3 a.m. from Lermy, and she'll be like, bro, what if Ishtar's 2 did this? And I'll be like, couldn't it just do like that? And it would be like fine.
And I'll go, oh my god, you're
like,
right.
Oh yes, like why don't we just do it like that? And wait, I think that's what works really well.
You're also awake at 3 a.m, or you're responding that morning?
Oh no, I am. Yeah, it's really bad. Okay. Although, well, it's right before 3, because you see, I have a hard 3 a.m. bedtime. You know, that's cutoff.
Oh,
for me,
okay.
Otherwise, it gets too close to Joe's waking up time. You know, my wife is an elementary school teacher. She wakes up at like 4:45 in the morning, which is just ungodly.
Yeah,
oh my god.
That wake up time has to be terrible.
And if I wake her up coming to bed, which I've gotten pretty good at not doing, but if I wake her up and it's too close to her alarm, then she can't go back to bed. So if it's past a certain time, as a courtesy, I go and sleep in like the guest bed or something like that. And so I have to. So that's I gotta be in bed before 3. That's my bedtime.
Do you have like a white noise thing in your room?
Oh yeah, both rooms.
Okay.
Yeah, basically every room forever. Also on my phone, because you know
he's ready.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I can't sleep in total silence anymore. I can't.
Yeah.
Like it's just it makes me feel uncomfortable. You know.
Well, I've got tinnitus from going to so many concerts, and I definitely need a white noise machine, or like just a fan going. And we got an air purifier that's really loud, so it's like absolutely perfect.
That's nice. Here's the real tech for all of you white noise users. There's actually a different noise that I think is much more comforting. It's brown noise. And I know that might sound like I'm trolling, because brown is such an ugly color and an ugly word, but it's true. Brown noise is the true wave over white noise. It's much less harsh. It's like much smoother. Than white noise. So give it a shot.
I've never heard of this.
I'm not trolling this time. It's true.
This time.
I'm serious. Okay, let's talk a little bit more in particular about.
Oh, that is nice. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, dude. That is nice.
I've never been that like enthusiastic about like background noise.
Dude, it's so nice. It's so comforting. Like it's the best to sleep to. I'm about it.
Yeah, that was really good. Sorry, you continue.
Yeah, no, well now everyone trusts me, so I think that's good. Let's how do you want to do it, Lermy? Do you want to go like ability by ability, or do you want to just talk about like general hurdles that we can talk about and all that kind of stuff, or what do you think is the most interesting on your end?
I mean, either is honestly fine. I think we could just do a quick little run through. I mean, she's kind of simple, right? She has a lot of like skill ceiling to reach, but I feel like her skill floor is pretty simple. Like when people give her a try tomorrow, I have a feeling that it'll be pretty easy to catch on with. But the best part about her is that there are some really sick combos, and once you get to know them, it feels so good. It feels buttery smooth, as Chaos, the lead gameplay programmer, would say.
Yes, buttery smooth.
Smooth.
I can hear it in his voice so perfectly. Yeah, actually, I just realized that like we aren't just doing this just for us. That there are probably people listening and watching that haven't read or heard of the kit at all. So we should probably actually go through and tell them what they do. So her passive is Mark of Vengeance. When Ishtar drops below 75% health, she marks the enemy god that most recently damaged her for 10 seconds. And each time she deals damage to that marked god with a basic attack, she gains stacking attack speed. If she receives her kill or assist on the marked god, she gains a movement speed buff, and it has a 20-second cooldown. This passive, I definitely felt for you during playtests with this passive because like so often, like the way it usually works is, the person designing the god plays them a lot in order to get the right feel, and then has a lot of the same people playing that god in order to get like an established feel. And then we kind of go through a couple of like a week or two where it's like players who haven't played her at all will only play Ishtar for like a week or 2 weeks in order to see what it's like for a new player. Because early in the development cycle in particular, there's so much that like is still temporary and or like needs fixing and all this kind of stuff that like it's just most of the feedback that you'll get is like, my 2 didn't work, and you're like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's still, that's in tomorrow.
I couldn't see the warning effects on this, or I didn't hear this. It's like, well,
I know.
These are temporary. These are work in progress right now.
Exactly. So I just remember, like, during when new players were starting to do it, I remember distinctly you going, okay, how did you feel about your passive? And they were like, what was her passive again? Like, literally.
I'm sitting there like,
every single one said, I don't know what my passive does.
So, really? Okay, for some tea on this ability, this passive used to be at 50% health, and the attack speed was at 15%. And no one noticed it. No one ever noticed it, even with temp effects, even with not a single time. And I was like, you're kidding me. This is such a sick passive for boxing and to use in lane and things like that. And even in late game team fights, being able to use that movement speed off the assists of whoever is hitting you. So good, right? But if people don't see it and they don't recognize it, then they don't know it's good. And that's generally like what we do, at least in our testing, is we bump things around a lot. We start off really high, really powerful, so people can like notice, okay, I see what's happening to me. This is new God X doing this to me. And then we'll take it down slowly until it feels fair, and people can still notice it.
Yep, exactly. So that's kind of what went through. I think the passive ended up in a really good state. Bera, as a pro hunter player, when you read this passive, how do you think it stacks up to some of the other hunter passives?
I love it. I think it's really good. I think it's really good, as Laramie said, for 1v1s, and then also I think it's really good for the intro, like 2v2 and laning phase as well. If you're getting gone, I feel like that has a lot of turn potential on support or ADC, whoever you happen to be hitting in that situation. No, I love the kit. I mean, I love the passive as well, but I love the whole kit. The more I think about it, I feel like it just flows together really well and just makes sense. And I kind of feel like it's like kind of like a Hachi kit almost. And Hachi's kit feels really clean to play with and really like fluid. I haven't played her yet, but from watching PTS and from watching a few of the gameplay videos, I feel like, and Lauren brought it up earlier with the combos. And I love like combo hunters that have buttons to press off of other buttons. I think always feel good, and I feel like this kit just flows really well together.
Barry, you are gonna like this kit then, my friend. There is little in Smite that feels as satisfying as hitting a Alt 3 Alt combo on Ishtar. It feels so good. But we'll talk about that really more nice. when we get there. Okay, the one, imbue arrows. So Ishtar does not have a traditional attack speed stim. And I will go more along those lines in a minute. Her one is that she gets to choose 3 different types of arrow shots. Think very similar to in how you choose them to Morgan Le Fay one, where you press 1 and then your 1, 2, and 3 get replaced with different icons. Your 1A is Strike Shot, which turns your basic attacks into lobbed AoE basics. Sylvanas autos, yep. That go over walls, by the way.
Yes.
Over walls for a hunter. That's pretty good. The 2 is Spread Shot, that turns your basic attacks into like a shotgun blast. So you can, the closer you are, the more damage you will deal. And then the 3 is Storm Shot, similar to like Hachiman 1 with longer range, but these decrease her damage, increase her projectile speed, and increase her attack speed, and have one of the coolest sound effects of any ability in the game, bar none.
That's so fun.
I love that sound so much. The sound team did such a great job there. Lermy, I have to say first and foremost that I got so messed up whenever you switched the order of these midway through development.
I know.
I think that first playtest after you switched the order, I literally didn't get the button that I wanted like the entire game. I was just so locked in. What was it? The Storm Shot, the long range was the 1, right?
For clarification, we had switched Storm Shot and Strike Shot, like their positions in the order, but we also didn't rename them so like when we have sub abilities, for instance, like your AO1 is your ability 01. We call them AO1A, AO1B, AO1C for your different like various sub abilities. We didn't change that name. So AO1A was positioned in the 3rd spot and AO1C was positioned in the 1st spot. So I was trying to say, hey Chaos, can we fix the AO1C? And he'd be like, oh, the Storm Shot. And I'd go, no, the Strike Shot.
Yeah.
So that was very confusing.
Yes. It totally broke my brain. It totally broke my brain.
That first like week of playtest after that switch, I think I messed up my laning phase at least like 70% of the time.
Okay, be honest with me.
I was using the wrong shot.
Did you ever use the wrong one, instantly cancel it, and reset your cooldown in order to get the right one?
No, I don't. So
I almost did once.
Macros. I have macros set for various commands that I use in testing. I don't have a reset cooldown command. I do have a set ground speed 1 million though, so that's definitely way more useful.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me how to do that because I will be needing that, and your cups are toast tomorrow.
My cups, dude. You're gonna Ganesh ult my cups again, dude?
Yes, dude. We talked about it on the last episode of the podcast, which was earlier today. But the new meta is for me to do whatever it takes in order to steal cups. I will happily die for their duo side cup.
It is the most tilting thing ever when I see him on my obelisk, and I'm like, fellas, we want to rotate now.
No one ever rotates in a playtest, man.
And then so literally all 4 other members go to gang up on aggro, and I'm like, don't worry guys, I'm coming, when actually I'm going to his obelisk. Yep.
Lermy steals cups so often, and no one on either team has ever rotated to obelisk, man. No one is ever stealing obelisk or rotating to obelisk when it's getting juiced. It's just not happening.
Dude, I have noticed that you've been warding those spots too, so you always know that I'm going there.
Yeah, I do.
And I don't buy sentries, I just accept that you know I'm going there.
Yeah, here's a... I think this literally happened like today, where our mid laner got ganked and they were like, oh, we really need wards around mid. And I like looked at the map and I just have our obelisk like lit up with wards, and I'm like, all of mine are down. So I can't really help in this regard. You know, the playtest meta evolves over time. You know,
it certainly does.
That's what's so fun about it. And yes, I will absolutely be set ground speed in order to steal a cup at least once. I'll wait until my team is getting absolutely annihilated. We have no chance of winning. And then I'm just going to set ground speed. It's 40 minutes.
The obelisk is respawned. Your whole team is dead. We have EFG. Just go get the cups.
And I'm going to get the cups, baby. That would actually be so funny if I did that and you were like it's like the obelisk has spawned. a team has finished their obelisk. It was like 3 seconds later.
Do that.
And you're like,
there's only 6.
What?
And you need 7.
All right, I'm having Matt add an extra cup just for that playtest.
Don't do it, Matt. I swear.
That's what I need for me to grief a playtest effectively. Okay, yeah. So this AO1, what I was gonna say earlier was that it was really like, I mean, it really is truly balancing 3 different abilities in one.
It was so hard, man. I can't even emphasize, like, even now, like, people are just going to favor the one because you slam one twice and you get the one, and that's super easy and simple to do. And that's why we initially made the switch to put Strike Shot in the first spot, because we felt like that's going to be the easiest one to use. It's going to be the most simple. It gives you the most benefit from it. Just put it in the one so that even if you get it, you're never mad at using it. You know, you're never mad that you get Lob Shot that goes over walls that has extra base damage on it. You're never mad at that.
No. Yeah, I'm surprised that one has bonus damage and not damage reduction.
We did try that too.
We
were like,
her clear went from like insane to absolutely unusable.
Yeah,
that was like 2 tests, and it was like, wow, I can't clear the wave.
We moved the numbers around a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because we were also trying to figure out like what was the intended clear supposed to be, and I was like, oh, obviously it's spread shot, and then when spread shot doesn't, like, it's not that good at clearing, right? Because you can only hit a maximum of 5, and so that one was its own nightmare, because originally it was not always 100% in the middle, and then every single playtest, when I had it like 160% damage total but spread out over the 5 arrows more evenly, everyone was like, this is useless, except for on objectives, and I can sit at Fire Giant and just 160% damage the Fire Giant for no no consequence.
Barry, I'm not trolling here. I think I did a Gold Fury as Ishtar once. I think I killed a Gold Fury in 3 seconds by myself. It was insane at one point.
I'm sitting here like, everyone tells me this is trash. And I hear them, right? But it can't be. I see how fast they do this Gold Fury, and it can't be bad.
Not me, Lermy. I was a spread shot truther from day one. I was like, there is no... Because here's the thing, and it still does this, by the way, and I think that it's in a much like healthier state and feels so much more fair to play against than it did through the vast majority of its development. Here's what's the most insane thing about spread shot. You buy Envenom Deathbringer, okay? And an assassin, warrior, or support is in your cone, which is fairly wide, and you shoot it, and your one of your 2 projectiles that hits them procs Envenom Deathbringer, and now they're slowed. You have Wind Demon. You're fast. Like,
oh yeah,
it is.
And
crazy.
you know what else?
It is
Malicious
crazy.
Deathbringer used to work on that too.
Oh, yeah.
It no longer does.
Okay, good. Yeah.
It no longer does. Like, it was not okay. I didn't like. Okay, it was like that for almost halfway through her development, and one day I was like, surely Malicious Deathbringer goes hard on Ishtar, and getting 5 cooldown resets at once is really good as it turns out.
It's weird how that's good.
I remember.
I think that'd be good.
I think I remember the playtest after you decided that can't be a thing, Lermy, and I hope I'm not misrepresenting this, because I just remember it vaguely, and I remember thinking it was very funny, in that Lermy and I are both associate designers. You know, we're working on our first gods. You know, we're surrounded by literal geniuses on like every team. I never like. Anytime I ask for anything, I'm not like, this is how it has to be. I'm like, if you like think that you could like maybe think about like doing this and this way, like that would be nice. But if you think it's better a different way, like please tell me. Like I'm so worried about that, and I feel like Lermy oftentimes is in the same boat. I remember after that playtest, Lermy goes, Chaos, spread shot can't proc Malicious Deathbringer. It can't. We need to change it. And Chaos is like, okay, well that's gonna take, and she's like, it can't. We have to change it. It was like the only time that Lermy's like, no, dude, we got to do it this way. And it was just like, wow. I was thinking, wow, it must have been really busted in order for her to be like, it has to be different.
Yeah, dude. 5 seconds of all your cooldowns for hitting 1 auto attack is really good, as it turns out.
Surprisingly.
I can't believe it. Yeah, I don't know. Spread shot, I think, is crazy. I've always thought it was crazy. You don't need to hit that many basics to kill people as a hunter once you get to late game. If you get even a percentage of your damage more consistently, it's crazy. If you get
oh my god
more than 100% at any time,
items on all 5 shots too. Just
Yeah.
like regular items like your Xyz and your chin size. That was great.
That was
too.
good. Yeah, that was really
Yeah,
fun.
that sounds terrifying.
I liked that. That was a good time.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Spreadshot was really good. Spreadshot was
she definitely
really
was
good.
not broken at all.
No.
And it definitely wasn't entirely this ability, and literally no other ability gave me so much trouble.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, it's 3 abilities basically, so I think that's like super defensible. And throughout this whole thing, I was like, dude, this guy's gonna be insane. Like, all of these stims are so crazy. And I think it was Clumsy at one point was like, yeah, but she doesn't. This is her only stim. Like, she doesn't have. You know, think about like Artemis 2 and Rom 2 and like an Izanami 1. Like, Izanami 1 is so insane as an ability. Think about AMC Hive and what that ability does for that character. Like, it's just I really think that hunters in many ways are the hardest class to design, because you have to think of how to do all these cool things, but they can't be cool enough or good enough to make you not want to basic attack, because if they are, they won't get played. And they also have to be able to basic attack well, which is going to just kill people on its own, regardless of what the rest of the kit is doing. Like, a 6-item hunter is just going to kill you, and it's going to feel oppressive nearly no matter what. So how do you like make the abilities feel good, but not make you want to use them instead of basic attacking late game? Because if you teach players to use abilities instead of basic attack as a 6-item hunter, they're kind of getting trolled. It's this like really weird, like, thin line that you have to walk. And I think that it really, like, it was really interesting being here for all of Ishtar from like beginning to end, not coming in like part of the way through or anything like that. And I don't know if you feel the same way, Lermy, but I just feel like Hunter is like, I haven't designed a Hunter yet. I hope to one day. But it seems hard. It seems more difficult than others in my brain.
It definitely is. Like, there's a lot of things that hunters share too, and like finding ways to make those same things unique. After there are so many hunters, and again, like, you have to find the value where they'll use it over their basic attacks, which is, again, not easy to do.
Right.
So, it definitely can feel like, oh crap, I really have to make something new that's going to feel usable, and that can be really, really daunting. But luckily, for me, Ishtar had a lot of material and lore and things to pull from that like could inspire me to come up with random things and throw it on a piece of paper. And I wasn't even going to go with some of these abilities initially. I wasn't sold on them, and then we moved them around a little bit, gave them a little bit extra zhuzhing, and they turned out really cool in the end. So like, I didn't even think it was going to end up like this, but I love how it ended up, so we take that.
Yeah, obviously you can't say like too much, but I guess like what a terrible way to frame this question. Like, how different did she turn out from like your initial, let's not even go with your final kit, but like the kit that was coming out of your 3-kit pitch? I've talked about this on the podcast before. The way we kind of do things is we brainstorm, we do all our research, all that kind of stuff. We come up with 3 entirely separate kits, and then the design team kind of goes, oh, I like this passive, I like this ability, I like this movement, I like this ultimate. And then we kind of Frankenstein them into one kit that all becomes cohesive and make changes in order to make that happen. How different did she turn out from that kit that it was like supposed to be? That's not to say that is how it works for every god, every designer, even Clumsy, who's done like 14 gods now or something like that. That's the way this goes. But I think that people might be interested in hearing how much things change just from playtesting.
Yeah. So, well, not even from playtesting. From the 3-kit pitch, I had my 3 kits, right? I was pretty happy with them, and, sometimes you make more abilities than you really know what to do with, so you kind of move them around and, like, try and put them in a spot where they feel like they fit. Well, I made a 4th kit of everything that I loved, and it was a stance switch kit.
I remember.
And it did not make it, obviously.
I remember. Farrah, have you ever been in a situation where, like, let's How troll do I want to be here, Barrett? Give me a number between 1 and 10 on how troll I can be here. There could be repercussions for you at 10. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we'll go 8.
Okay.
We'll go 8.
Let's say theoretically, one of your teammates wants to like build an item, and they've talked to you about wanting to build this item. They think it's very good, and you know the rest of your teammates don't really want them to build that item, but they've talked to you and you only. They've been DMing you like, no, I think it's really good in like this situation. You're like, all right, man, like, yeah, we can bring it up. Like, you know, we can talk about it the next time. And you hear them like giving the like, okay, here's why I think it's good and here's when I should build it. And you know, like, it's just not going to happen, you know? Like, you're just like, I know that, like, I'm with you, but like, you're just waiting for another teammate, maybe theoretically your mid laner, to be like, don't build that item. And you know it's coming. That was me in the 3-kit pitch, watching Lermy do this like awesome stance switch kit, just waiting for Clumsy to go,
no.
Yeah, I don't think we can do a stance switcher here. Like, I was like, damn, this is cool. I don't think they're going to want to do it.
No, and they sure didn't, dude. But okay.
That kit went hard.
It did really go hard. The thing that I like to do in my 3-kit pitches, which I've done like 3 now, so like that's how it is my last one is always troll, even just a little bit.
My last one was troll for my first god.
Yours was very, very troll, and I appreciate that. I just troll. Like, I want to go dummy stupid on the last kit, just so that I can get all of my unhinged ideas out. Like, and sometimes they turn out really cool, right? Like, I'll put it in a context where it's obviously too much work, too much whatever it might be. You know, X, Y, and Z reason why we can't do this. But maybe there's something cool in it that I can pull out and use it somewhere else. And that actually is how the ultimate came to be. The ultimate was going to be a regular ability, and we were like, what if we just made this an ultimate? And I was like, sure, let's make it an ultimate, and we did.
Yeah, and I think it turned out super well. Barrett, did the situation that I was describing like sound familiar at all to you? No.
Not at all, actually. Brand new situation I've never heard of anyone going through ever. That was so new.
Yeah, that would be a weird situation to be going through, though, right?
Yeah, that'd be so weird. I would just feel not sorry for it, you know, anyone going through that specific situation.
I feel bad for Clumsy sometimes when he has to listen to my dumb ideas. I just say something and he's like, it would have been better if you didn't.
That's such a good Clumsy impression. I've heard that so many times already. Oh, that poor guy. I feel bad for him too.
We love Clumsy.
We sure do. I love that guy so much. All right, Barra, when you're looking, we're 45 minutes in and we've gotten through the one.
Yeah, I've been staring at the first ability of this kid.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, this is Real High Res Hours, the podcast now, which we talked about making a podcast many times, by the way. It would eventually basically turn into the Green Room podcast. But when you're looking at this one, what do you see?
I've been looking at it for 40 minutes.
Yeah, you've got plenty of time, so let's get it. You're gonna have every interaction worked out. Let's hear it.
I feel like the strike shot's mainly used for clearing early game. It might be good using it over walls, obviously, in specific situations, but those situations are much less, obviously, and you're probably going to get a few autos off. I think late game situations over walls would be interesting. I don't know. Is it full range on the one? Or the,
it's basically like the edge of the back of the circle is like at 55.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay, and that's really good late game, actually, because one of the things hunters struggle with consistently is over-the-wall damage, and being able to auto-attack over walls, especially, we'll say, around the Fire Giant pit, like around those rocks, all damage you can do as a hunter over walls is very beneficial late game. Like, that is insane. So, I was going to say Spread Shot most likely going to be late game for me, but Strike Shot might come in to a lot of team fights.
Also, your basics can't get body blocked whenever you're strike shotting. Like, lots of times I was lobbing basics over like supports trying to body block for their hunter or something like that. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I feel like spread shot's probably best if you're like 1v1ing obviously like a guardian or a warrior late game. because I feel like that has to go buck wild. It probably is pretty good early to mid game as well, as long as they're like melee range. But I don't know if I would always go to that. And Storm Shot's probably the one I'll use the least. Because I think
it's super sick for hitting phoenixes. Like if you're just trying to poke out while they're sitting under phoenixes, when you think about it that way, it's kind of useful.
Yeah, it's really good at softening up their tanks for sure. Lermy has like absolutely crunched some tanks like right before a Phoenix Siege starts, and you're like, guess we can't fight anymore.
That's probably good for putting people in combat as well.
Yes, this plus Oboe is insane.
Yeah,
that does go hard.
Because Hachi 1 is basically that as well, for like using it to put people in combat late game. And
it is much easier to hit than Hachi 1. Much easier.
It goes faster. It does less damage, but like if you want the blink stopping value, it's certainly there.
Wait, what's the range increase?
I'm
pretty sure it's 75. Let me double check.
Oh, okay, because it's not in the description here.
Lermy.
I'm opening up the GCT
it's
right now.
It's not in the description?
It said long range shots.
It is. It's in the game. It's in the game. It's just not on that because it says
AJ,
range at the top.
It's not on the patch notes. Lermy, why would you call it AJ? He's the design director. That's smart.
AJ, what's going on here? Well, okay. I wrote the patch notes too, so you can blame me for that one.
Lermy, what's going on?
Look, I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay, there was a thing on the patch notes that I was going to ask you about.
Okay, I lied. It's 80. It's 80 range.
Okay, 80 range. And what's Hachi? Hachi is 75?
I think they have to be the same. I think they have to be the same.
I'm pretty sure. Didn't we test
what's
it?
Hachi's one called? Eagle Eye?
Eagle Eye, that's right. I still got the ability names.
I have no idea what
Eagle Eye. Range 80.
Oh, they are the same. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I was going to ask about one thing that I noticed on patch notes. And it was something about how you can save money by switching to Mint Mobile. Where was it?
I don't know. Maybe after the quality of life section?
Yeah, it was right. It was right there in Change Your Life Forever. It was all of a sudden Mint Mobile offers premium wireless service for just $15 a month. They've just been buffed, and every other wireless provider has been nerfed, of course, by Mint Mobile showing up. You thought that you were getting 2 shows in one night and you weren't getting 2 Mint Mobile reads. You were trolling, is all I'm saying. You get to use your same phone with any Mint Mobile plan. You get to keep all your contacts. You're on the nation's largest 5G network. Everyone thinks you're cooler. Ryan Reynolds is a part of the company and like owns it. And he's cool. So I don't know.
Big support of the podcast too. He watches every episode.
Yeah, every single episode. Shout out Ryan. But stop messaging me. Like, I have work to do and stuff to do, and it's getting annoying. So stop messaging me so much. Other than that, he's cool. He's just a little needy at times. But you know, everyone can do that.
Everyone is.
It also says here on the patch notes, Barracuda uses Mint Mobile and likes
and Derpy Bear.
And Derpy Bear both use Mint Mobile and like it. That's what it says here in patch notes.
The easiest way to save money on... I mean, everyone has monthly bills, and any way you can chop those down a little bit while maintaining the same quality of service, it's just so easy. Like, it ships directly to your door, same phone, it takes 2 minutes to set up, like... And it's $15 a month. Like, where do you go wrong with that?
You don't, Barra. You don't go wrong. Thanks for asking.
It's like you guys on the design team.
Well,
you don't
go really good analogy. Really, really good one.
Yeah. Like, just like that. Yeah. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get a plan shipped straight to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/backliners. That's mintmobile.com/backliners. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/backliners. Okay, let's talk about the 2 because we are 49 minutes into... Well, not exactly.
Yeah, okay.
We've been talking about it a little bit. Rolling Thunder, a cool ability because anything to do with lightning and thunder, automatically awesome. Already,
all right, we're back to that.
Yep, we've never left it, to be clear. This ability is one that I think is going to surprise people in how it feels, because I know, like, for months, not months, but for many, many weeks, I was trying to figure out, is this ability just better to max? Like, how many hunter abilities are going to hit the whole wave? The 1 helps you clear, but doesn't hit the entire wave at the same time. So surely maxing the 2 is the way to go. But I think that this ability feels really unique in that it feels like a true utility spell as a hunter. It does not hit that hard. It really is about area control, and that isn't a feature that a lot of hunters have. So I think that this ability turned out really cool. Barra, when you have looked at this ability on paper and by looking at it a little bit on PTS and that kind of stuff, what have your impressions been?
I think it's mainly used to block a pathway for a little bit or to interrupt a channeled ability. And I don't think a lot of hunters have that style of ability in their kit. So I think it's a very good button for a self-peel as well. Yeah, I like it a lot. I agree with you. I don't think it does that much damage, but I don't think it needs to. Because I think Mez is a very underrated CC in the game. Mm-hmm. And especially on a hunter, I think having a Mez is very strong.
Yeah, Apollo player likes hunters with Mezes. Weird. No one saw that coming.
Connection.
Yeah, there it is. Lermy, talk to us a little bit about Rolling Thunder and what its journey was like a little bit.
Yeah, so if Imbue Arrows was Troublemaker number 1, Rolling Thunder was Troublemaker number 2, because for the longest time it was so hard to figure out how to make this ability impactful. So the first thing that we started with was that it had 3 shots of lightning and not 4. Yep. And we were like, okay, this feels good, but I'm not really ever getting that overlap. And even though I am, it's not, it lasts for a long time. It feels like really, what's the word, like niche. Like when it happens, it goes crazy, but when it doesn't happen, it sucks. And I was like, okay, how do we fix this? So first thing that we tried was just adding another one. And it turns out that worked, and that was great. But now you have even more damage, so that sucks because it's way too strong and it lasts way too long. So I was like, okay, we need to nerf this a little bit. How do I want to do this? So the first thing I did was the Mez, I think, to start was like really, really long.
It was so long. It was like 1. I think it was double that this time.
It was 1.5, right? I'm pretty sure. And I was like, crazy. Because I looked at Apollo and I was like, Apollo is like what, 2 seconds or something? Surely I can get away with this. I could not get away.
I remember to back you up here, like the first 2 or 3 times I played against Ishtar, I don't think I got Mez a single time. Like it just didn't happen. And then I remember the first time Lermy Mez'd me and then walked away. And I was like, she's so far away. Like I'm still here. Like I can't move. Like this is crazy. I was like, oh my god, I could not believe how long I was mezzed.
Yes. So we ended up shifting that ability a little bit to feel, like you said, more like a utility ability where it's really designed to be an interrupt and a zoner tool. So like for people that are running at you, for people that you want to just surprise and have the lightning come from the back and go forward, like it's really, really good at those things. It was not designed to be a good lane clear, mostly because we wanted to give a lot of that strength to imbue arrows. We felt like, okay, if she has a really overpowered 1 and a really overpowered 2, like her other abilities surely can't be good. So I was like, well, we can really hone in on that utility of the 2 and let the 1 kind of shine on its own thing. And so that opened up the doors basically for me to be able to, make imbue arrows feel like all 3 of the forms are pretty balanced. Because before that, they were lacking some components of the bonus damage, for instance, and the center arrow doing 100% in spread shot and the strike shot. That was a whole different story. But just shifting that one away from damage to utility was probably the best change, honestly, that came out of her whole development, to be honest.
Yeah, I big agree. I think that this ability definitely changed a lot in feel, and I think it ended up feeling in a really good spot, which is really cool. Okay, the 3 jolt. I never even said what Rolling Thunder does for the listeners at home. It calls down 4 strikes of lightning in a line, damaging enemies in their area. Ishtar may aim which direction the strikes travel. So if you aim your camera at your feet, it'll go close to far, like bang, 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 bang. If you go far to close, if you flick your camera out like you're aiming an ability far away, it'll come towards you instead. And And
how does that one sound? Does it sound different?
I was as soon as I did the bang, 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 I was like, what? That did nothing. Like, that literally added absolutely nothing. And I was like, no. This is how I know that you have caster background, Laramie, because no caster would ever let me get away with that. No, none of them. You know whose voice I literally heard was Tom's. I heard F.Dot's voice going, what was actually that sound? That it was? Yeah. It goes bang, 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 bang on the way in. And that's what's really good. Yeah. Can I tell you guys a story about how the hardest I ever got roasted in a balance meeting, which is saying a lot for the record. This was many years ago when we had our balance meetings in person, pre-COVID and all that kind of stuff. I think this was like season 4 or 5. No, it must have been like season 5. And I think I finally remembered who we were talking about. We were talking about making a change to Raijin. One of the only times that happened. Am I right, guys? And we were talking about how many projectiles his one shoots, because it is 4 projectiles that he shoots out of the one. It is not 3, even though it's 3 hits of the drum. It's 4 projectiles. And someone was like, I'm pretty sure it's only 3 projectiles. And someone else said they thought it was 4. And I was like, no, for sure it's 4, right? Because it's 1, 2, 3. And I remember Fishman just bursted out laughing and he goes, watch out, guys. This guy can count. And I was like, I just got owned so hard. Like, I just got absolutely dunked on so hard. It was so funny. Like, because I didn't even realize what I was doing. Like, I just really was like in my own head, like thinking like, okay, he does the left and then the right and then both together. But all I said out loud was 1, 2, 3. And he was like, it was so dumb. And I literally still think about that moment, if you couldn't tell.
That's classic Fishman.
That is classic Fishman. I miss that guy, dude. He was so funny.
Funny. Very, very short side tangent on Fishman, though. Fishman is now lead designer on Paladins, and Paladins just released a new champion, Caspian. Mm-hmm. And Caspian is also themed to be Love and War, which is the same as Ishtar.
So he stole your bit.
Like working together. Yeah, he stole my bit. Caspian came out first, obviously. It's, the other way around. I may have stolen a bit of their bit.
No. This is how it goes, Lermy. They stole your bit. Just like,
Always,
I'm not even going to go down. Never mind. Jolt, that's her 3. She draws her blades and charges forward, striking all enemies in her path. If she hits an enemy god, she stops and roots them for 1 second as she backflips off of them. As Ishtar is in the air, she fires her bow, dealing damage in an area around the affected god. This shot may crit and trigger basic attack item effects. One of the flashiest looking abilities in the whole game for sure. So satisfying to kill people with. By far the most satisfying ability that we've released in a long time to kill people with. I do have to go on a tangent right off the rip here. I'm not even going to give it to anybody else.
Okay.
I've heard a lot about how this dash sucks because you can get caught on people. And that is true. You can get caught on your way out hitting people with this dash. Medusa has long suffered a similar problem. That does not make this ability bad instantly. It just doesn't. And it doesn't have... And the thing that really tilts me about this argument is not that that's the crux of it. It's that this is a worse ability than Medusa Dash because it doesn't stop you in place, because it kicks you backwards. And I just think that is so missing the strengths of what that kick does for you, and that how that kick is so much better for you in so many situations than being stuck dead in that exact moment, and how having that amount of iframes like matters even if it's putting you back in a weird spot. I think that argument is not good, and I don't agree. That's the beginning.
I think some of the coolest stuff that we've done with Jolt and Playtest, we were testing Hades a lot, right? Because obviously Crow of Torment Hades was getting released in the same patch, so we were testing a lot of that new tech and stuff. So one thing that Ishtar players quickly learned is you don't dash out of Hades ult. Nope. You dash into Hades, and you backflip out of Hades ult.
Yep.
So he's sitting there. He's going to take the full brunt of the damage. He's going to get crit. He's going to get the item effects on him. And also, the best part about this is that this also counts for her passive. That shot that comes down from the bow, that counts for your passive as a basic attack. So you get that extra attack speed on it. So, I mean, it's really, really good to use it offensively. Even if you think you're in a bad spot, just use it in. You can go over walls with it too. Like, we had a bunch of Ymir players where they're walking up to me. They put down the wall. I know they're about to freeze. I dash into them, go over their wall, and now they just own themselves. I mean, it's so sick to use it aggressively.
Can you go over every wall?
Player-made walls. So not like geometry walls. That would be crazy.
Yeah, you can go over Umoja wall.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Pretty sure. With the backflip only. Yep.
Yeah.
She's
remember, if you end up if your landing location would put you in the Umoja wall, then it can knock you back in to inside if that's your closest valid location, is like the way we check for those things. But if your landing area is clear on the other side of the Umoja wall, then you will end up on the other side.
I was wondering because like Neath can't backflip out of Umoja wall, so I was wondering if like this ability had like the same or like similar coding.
Yeah, so how that works is there's basically a value in the I guess the binary where if certain values are set or turned on, that means they can go through certain kinds of collisions. So I believe that Neath backflip has certain ones turned off or on that allows her to go through some and not others. And that depends on height and collision and things like that. So I don't know the specific ones that Neath has turned on. So she can't go tall enough, is what you're saying.
Yeah, the flavor of it is that she's doesn't check her landing spot. Yeah, she doesn't check her landing spot.
She's not tall enough to ride the ride.
Yeah, it's dude, there have been so many cool uses of this ability. I watched someone like dodge like a Medusa ult with it, like Ishtar and a Medusa were boxing. I might have been the Medusa, I don't remember, impossible to say for sure. And the Medusa like started winding up their ult, and the Ishtar just charged in and backflipped off of them, took absolutely 0 damage, returned damage instead. And it's like, how do you ever lose that fight at that point?
Was that someone in that call that did that?
Well, I mean, I don't know for sure. It did happen. I just don't know who may or may not have been piloting each of those gods. But yeah, this ability owns.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think this button also makes up for the lack of damage on the 2. Because I think that just does a crazy amount of damage. And the fact that it can crit and trigger basic attack effects, it's just a crazy button. I completely agree.
Lermy, do you remember when the arrow damage was like, I don't remember what the number was, but it was much higher. And I know that because I got backflipped off of, and I think it was AJ, like backflipped off of me and shot me with the arrow and crit me for like 1200. And I was like,
yeah, it was 130%.
I almost certainly did make that noise, by the way.
It was okay. So for the longest time, in these tests, right? So we don't have like players. We have all kinds of players. So some players are really, really good at the game, and some people play it more casually. When those casual players play, we get different kinds of feedback, right? And maybe their feedback is more oriented towards feels. So that week happened to be one of those weeks where we had a lot of people trying out that were new, and they were always like, this shot does nothing. I just die. And I'm like, you know what? It's not going to do nothing anymore. And it certainly didn't do nothing.
Crank that knob up a little bit.
It was too far. Don't get me wrong.
A quick question. Does it always hit the arrow damage? Like, even if like they beads the root, does it still hit?
So it goes to the same spot that they were. If they are leaving that spot, then they don't get hit.
It is an AoE shot. Like, the AoE is pretty clearly defined, I think.
Okay.
So you'll be able to see if they're in that circle but not dead center, because it's AoE, you can hit multiple gods or targets.
Yeah, I'm just asking, like, if you beads, are you always getting hit by it, or is there like a bit of a delay?
There's a little bit of a delay. Okay. There's a very strong argument how much of the delay should be between the animators and the effects artists and things like that, because we had to hook all that stuff up and make sure that the arrow was firing and it was going at the right timing and the explosion was going off. So I think we put it at a good time where, if you're not affected by slows or anything, if you beat, you almost certainly can get out of it. We made sure that there was enough time between that so you could walk out of it if you really wanted to. Or you're not crippled. You could use a movement ability out of it too.
Yeah, getting a relic is worth, it still feels like you did something strong with your dash, in my opinion, if you are able to just get a relic out of it. Someone in chat is asking if it counts as a Hydra's auto. I believe it does, yeah.
Yes, and you get one after. It's great. If you go into that ability having a Hydra's proc ready, you dash onto someone, go in the air, shoot your bow, that's a Hydra proc, you land, and you get a Hydra proc back. It's awesome.
Whoa.
Hydra's Ishtar, even better than Hydra's Medusa? I know, you're thinking, no way a hunter could possibly be better than Medusa with Hydras. But it's true. It's true.
And that's not even to mention, okay, I do need to backtrack a little bit to the one, just because of how buttery smooth it is. So, Chaos would be really pissed at me if I didn't say, go through the full details of what you can do while the one is active.
Yeah.
So, you press 1, you're shown all 3 icons of what you can pick. You can still ult in that spot. You can still auto attack while that's active. You can cancel it. You are not showing that you are doing this at all. Mm-hmm. So you're literally able to do any of that. Also, there's some fun basic attack canceling tech that also makes Hydras really, really good. Where if you fire your auto, cancel it, and hold down your left click, you'll shoot a regular basic attack right after. So it's kind of like that soul tech, where after your 2, you get the basic attack right away, but it's on your 1 for Ishtar.
Yeah, Cryptus is the same with her 1. You can cancel for an immediate auto afterwards.
Yep, or Hachi 1 you can do some cool auto canceling with, so definitely high skill cap. Yeah.
While I have both you guys in the call.
Oh boy, here we go.
Speaking of Hachi, any chance of the revert on the horse tech, it feels so nice to dash literally off of the horse, and now,
it does break the animation.
Yeah, it is not clear at all.
Unlucky. So
it means you can dash out of cripples and that kind of stuff, right? That isn't super fair.
Yeah, I don't know that we can do that. I mean, maybe we could give him something else.
What's
maybe a little buff.
Yeah, it's it's just Ryan Bailey 124. That's all you need. That's the PayPal. If anyone wants it, I mean, just for anybody, just include the god you want buffed in the note. Anyways,
yeah, Hurry in chat. Thank you, Hurry. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Says CC immunity after he lands. So checkmate.
That's called post fire.
Yeah, that's just different. That's the way
we won, Hurry. We got him.
It's a little bit different.
Nope, wrong.
Okay, that's fine.
Lermy, how successful do you think? It's well documented on this podcast that I try and drop a triple-double in every arena playtest because they aren't about balance or strength. It's more about testing servers or skins or something like that, and we don't need to be there for 25 minutes in an arena game. Do you think? I'm trying to brainstorm a new one. I want to one-tap someone with jolt only. I want
with jolt only. Okay.
Jolt only. So I'm thinking Mannequin's Hidden Blade, Hydras, Deathbringer, maybe I just only go Deathbringer, and then go
Rage.
No, Rage is too low power. I need as much power as humanly possible.
Definitely trans for sure.
Yeah, need trans. Probably need I can't build Erendite.
You could go Dominance. I mean, Dominance counts on it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Dominance. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dom for sure.
I think I have to just go only Deathbringer and hope I get lucky. Or
just pray.
Or I could have another hunter on my team build Failnaught and mark them so that I'm more likely to get my crit.
That reminds me of that one game that you tried to play Ymir and you had me build Failnaught
so I could crit. Yeah, that was big. That was really good. I was critting people for sure. I don't think I got enough kills for that to be a triple-double, but I got the deaths. That's the thing.
I built 40% cooldown in Failnaught just for you. That was it. I didn't build any other damage.
I appreciated that. That was big. Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking I need Frenzy, as is part of all of them.
Bracer.
Yep, a Bracer. Yeah, Fafnir. Okay, I think I could one-shot someone with just Jolt.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I really could. I just have to get a little.
Yeah. Next Fafnir skin, we got you.
Can't wait, baby. Okay, let's move on to the ultimate. Blades of Retribution. Super sick ultimate. She becomes CC immune and summons 5 swords of light and fires them out in a cone in front of her. Why are they swords of light and not lightning swords?
I was going to say that.
Well,
I figured,
okay, so she's the queen of heaven, right? So like she has more ties to heaven and like holy light energy than like lightning, right? She's like minorly tied to lightning because it's said that she has some relation to storms versus she's the queen of heaven. And storms, that's cool and all, but like holy lightning energy, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, they do look lightning-y in game. I just think that maybe we could have played up the lightning more in the description here. But that's we can.
Okay, yeah, I'll take it for next time.
Yeah, okay.
Light and lightning, you
light.
shoot all the swords, and they're like all lightninging together.
Okay, I know. We just say lightning.
I'll change the description right now to be lightninging, and you got it.
There you go.
I would really appreciate that.
What if it was 5 swords of lightning, where the light part of lightning is in all caps? And then
I think that
NING.
our localizers would actively kill us.
Yeah, they totally would. We would definitely get an angry Slack message about that. She summons 5 swords of lightning and fires them out in a cone in front of her. Each sword damages and cripples enemies for 1.25 seconds, and when they reach their destination, Ishtar may then recall them to her location anytime within the next 3 seconds. If an enemy is hit by both the initial fire and the recall, they are stunned for a second. And each sword, after the first, deals reduced damage, resetting before recalling. So... The thing that makes this ability feel the best by far is that you can do it at any time in the middle of any other thing that she is doing, including in the middle of firing your 2, choosing your 1, using your 1, firing your dash, in the backflip.
CC'd, dead,
CC'd,
any of those.
Anytime you press 4, they come on back, no matter what.
Oh, I thought you meant you could shoot it whenever you were doing that.
No.
Okay, I was like, I missed a few words there, I guess.
Okay, while your 1 is up, you can shoot it. You can press 4 while your 1 is like in the choice state, but that's like the only exception.
Right.
Okay. That tracks.
And it just feels so good. Bear, you were talking earlier about over-the-wall damage and how important it is for hunters. This does go through walls, and it slams. Like, it slams people. It doesn't do as much as it used to, because it did a lot. It did a lot, but it's a sick initiation tool. You can use it to buy so much time if you need it for defensive purposes, because you can throw it out for the CC immunity, and then... wait to recall it until they use their CC immunity, and guarantee your stun, all that kind of stuff. Like, this ability it just goes hard. It's similar to Medusa Ultimate in its team fight presence, but the fact that it goes over walls is a really, really big deal, I think.
Yeah, the damage is not what you're looking for here. You're looking to cripple the whole team and then stun them before they even know what's up. You will be getting beats with this ability, that's for sure.
Yep.
And if you're 1v1ing, you can certainly cancel it while you're jolting into someone and get a free 5 sword hit on them. So, I mean, the combos are there if you're willing to use your dash in.
Yes, yeah. Also, Chaos tweeted out a really good gif of some tech that I didn't even know that he had put in, the predictive movement on it.
That was a really long discussion that we had too of if we should use that or not, and putting it in was one of the best decisions we made for that ability, because it predicts where you're going, so you can call it back even before you've hit someone, and while you're still going forward, the swords are going to where it predicts that you're going to go. Like, the server basically checks, where will this person end up after this amount of time. Right. And that's where they go. And it has been amazing.
It's so crazy. Like, if you basically what it means is if you start your dash, instead of aiming towards where you are and kind of like curving in towards you or something like that and missing the person you're trying to dash on, it goes, "Oh, you're going to hit this person with your dash because we know that you will. We'll just put them there." And then you just like get to one tap people off of it, and it feels so good. Like, that combo good. It's so fun.
Link in the chat if anyone of you guys want to watch that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that clip is insane. I was playing in Zapman on PTS the other day, and I was like, surely I just get owned in this lane. Like, I'm just gonna get stomped on, whatever it is. But turns out my support was OP, so I have him pushed under tower, and I have my jolt up, I have my Blades of Retribution up. I'm like, I have to go for the flavor.
You styled
here.
on him?
No, I missed my jolt, but it would have been really funny if
unlucky.
I did.
Unlucky.
Okay, to be fair, Zap, low HP or whatever under his tower is literally peak Zap, man.
Yeah, that is where he is the most activated.
Dude,
you know what's so hard about playing against Zap?
It was his passive, dude.
You know what's so hard about playing against Zap is that he puts himself in that situation so many times, and you can't tell, because some days he is truly just inting, right? Like, he will not outplay you. He will not do anything sick. He will just end up dying. But you think, like, the whole time, like, surely he won't just die. And then he does. And then when you think that it's going to be that, he absolutely styles on you, makes the mechanically perfect play, and embarrasses you with this party. And you're like, what just happened? Like, that is it's often said that, you know, you aren't an NA ranked player if you haven't soloed Zapman. That is just how it goes. He will be handing them out like candy some nights, and other nights he's the freaking 3-time, and you've got no shot. And I love that about Steve. I really do. Yeah, Barra, when you think about what this ability does in comparison to like other Hunter ultimates and what it means for where you're gonna be picking her versus not, like how important do you think this ultimate is for her?
Well, I think it's a very good ult. I think it's like a cracked like Cupid mixed with like a Medusa ult almost. Just able to add a lot of CC to a team fight or even like a 1v1 situation. And I think you guys said it earlier, but I feel like you're kind of always getting a relic with this ult as long as you use it properly.
Pretty much.
And the damage doesn't even have to be high, because I feel like you're probably going to go trans on her anyways. And so I feel like you're going to do a lot of damage regardless. And yeah, I value this kit. I mean, I haven't played, obviously. I haven't played her yet, but I think this kit is just going to be so much fun. Like, I think it all flows so well together. And I'm still gonna take my Smite break, but I'll be a little desperate to play this character when I come back.
Little Smurf action, maybe. You know, no one's gotta know that you're breaking your Smite break. That's how it's gotta be. It's fine. I do have to give credit where it's due to one Caps Lock Fury, QA God.
It's true.
He snapped my ankles in a Smite game in a way that I don't think I've ever been owned before. Where we were fighting around gold, and Ishtar ulted, and like the edge of one sword clipped me on the way out. But I was like, he kind of put it behind the pillar where like gold between like red and purple, like that's kind of in that little corridor. And so I like started walking up towards oracles. I was playing like an assassin, and I was gonna like start going on everybody and murdering and doing my job. And then Caps like started dashing back to Gold Fury, and I was like, why is Caps dashing like that? And then all of the swords came from behind me and hit me because he had like dragged them with his dash to stun me. And I was like, and I insta-died in the stun, and I was like, holy crap, I just got owned. Like, I just got obliterated and had no idea what was happening. And it was like, wow, that was really cool, because when you just like played as much Smite as we play and have played over the years, like it's pretty hard to really catch like me or Lermy or Clumsy or AJ like off guard with how something goes. And that one, like, legitimately I never saw coming. And I think that a lot of people are going to feel very similarly and be able to do really cool creative things with this ultimate in particular.
Yeah, one of the comments in that post from Ro actually was someone throwing out the ultimate, blinking while the ultimate is still firing, and then recalling it as they get there. And it's just like the amount of stuff people do with this ultimate is limitless at this point. I'm so excited to see, and like if anyone who's listening is playing Ishtar and runs into these moments and has a clip of them, please send them to me. I want to see the crazy stuff that you guys do with this ultimate, because I'm convinced that this is going to go absolutely nutty. Yeah,
it's going to be crazy. And thankfully, it doesn't like one-shot me at level 5 anymore, because it used to one-shot me at level 5.
Again, we wanted to move away from damage, and more utility on these really high impact abilities, because she's a hunter. She already has damage in just her basic attacks. So we figured give it really, really good utility, and it'll carry itself.
Yep, I think it definitely did. She also has one of the coolest card arts in the entire game. Her Ascended skin is absolutely
so good, man.
bonkers.
Oh my god.
The lightning, she's like drawing the lightning. It's too cool, man. I can't help it. I just love it. Yeah, I guess before we wrap up here, Bara, maybe for hunter players out there who aren't sure what to think about her. Again, very early, having not played her, gotten a chance to play her yet. What types of comps do you think that she plays well against, or what she could struggle against potentially?
I think she seems really good into 1v1 aggressive hunters. Coming back to what you guys said earlier about Jolt, being able to dodge so many buttons, I think that's insane. I don't think she is the safest hunter. She's definitely not on like Jingwei, Hachi levels for safety. I think she's more of a fighter in lane, or seems that way. Mm-hmm. And I think the ult literally can be plug and played in most team comps. Like, I feel like you're always going to be satisfied with the ult. I think she fits in like most team comps, honestly. Like 80 to like 90% of team comps, I think she fits. I think the one time she doesn't fit is when you really need that like safety net hunter in duo, or someone that can't die. But I feel like for you guys in like casual and ranked games, I feel like you can just plug and play her so easily. Yep,
I agree. I do think that she's more survivable. She's harder to kill than she seems like she will be, because the dash goes really far and is really quick.
Okay.
It is a fast dash, I think.
Lightning, she has to go fast.
Lightning, she's got to go quick. That's the way you got to be. Quick as lightning.
It's about the same size as Cardano's dash, and like a hair faster, like actually a hair.
I thought it was shorter. Okay, then yeah, she's definitely safer than I had anticipated. So maybe she just fits in anything right now. I mean, I'm just speaking as like such a big fan of the kit. I think it just is so much fun as a hunter player to have these kind of kits, like the ones that flow together, obviously, and just feel good to play. Mm-hmm. So yeah, for you guys out there, I would just get my hands on her as quickly as possible, because I feel like she will be a ton of fun to play.
And of course, as we all know, buy gems at the same time. Okay, let's go over our random question of the week. This one is an old one that I remembered that I liked and had forgotten about. But Brinky D on Twitter asked, "What dipping sauce do you use for your chicken nuggets, or for you, Bara, your vegan nuggets?"
Barbecue. It's always barbecue.
Okay, well, like, is it sweet barbecue? Is it like...
It needs to cover most bases. It needs to be sweet, it needs to be smoky, and it needs to be spicy.
The three S's, if you will.
Yes, and it needs to be like semi-thick. I do not like thin barbecue sauces, like the liquidy ones. Mm-hmm. Not a big fan of those. They're not that common, but I like a thick sauce. And barbecue for me, it covers like all the bases. It covers all like the flavor elements I need in like a chicken nugget bite, and it's just perfect.
That sounds, I'm not a big barbecue sauce fan, but you kind of sold it to me there a little bit. Like...
Bro, I'm the biggest barbecue sauce fan. I would put barbecue sauce on like any meat like substitute, and like even on like burgers, like anything like that. It is so good.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's my main problem with barbecue sauce. It just tastes like ketchup to me, because ketchup is such a big part of barbecue sauce that it's hard for me to not notice it.
That is so disrespectful.
Bro, I'm not saying it only tastes like ketchup. I'm just saying that I can very clearly. I just think ketchup is gross. Okay, I know this is not. This is not a common take.
No.
I'm not gonna. I don't need to defend it. Okay, it's just not good. It's sugary nonsense. It doesn't make anything taste better at all. It ruins the flavor of anything it touches.
I think I have to leave. I think I have to go.
Well, it's almost at the end, so that's really not that bad if you really have to.
Even on fries?
Yes, it completely ruins them, dude. It ruins them.
Oh my god. See, okay.
It's bad.
I was listening to the podcast a while ago, and you had bad takes about Boston cream donuts too. So I'm
Trash.
not surprised that you have
Trash.
bad takes about sauces too.
Yeah. It's so bad, guys. You guys, you have your child brains were attacked by ketchup, and they've got their ketchupy grip on your cerebral cortex.
Why are you starting a crusade against ketchup? Bro?
I've been on a crusade against ketchup, Lermy. I started this decades ago at this point, okay? It's not a new thing. Ketchup's bad. I'm not taking any ketchup sponsorships on this podcast. It's not happening,
Look,
so quit asking.
I love ketchup as much as Barry loves barbecue sauce, okay? I'm a ketchup stan.
Okay. And a lot of people are. I know that my position is not the most popular, but it is the most correct. So are you a ketchup on chicken nugget type of person,
Yes.
Lermy?
Absolutely. I do think barbecue sauce is like A tier, but
It's because it's like
ketchup
a lot of
is
ketchup.
absolutely S tier.
Hey, bro.
It is, Barra. It is. It's not even arguable.
Tastes like ketchup. What barbecue sauce are you eating that you're like, this is ketchup?
Bro, I'm not saying it's just ketchup. There are multiple types of barbecue sauce. I'm not well versed enough to know if like Carolina barbecue sauce is ketchup based or like Texas barbecue sauce is. Like I know there are differences. I don't care that much. I swear. I will
I don't
try.
care that much either about the different kinds. It
Like-
just needs to like check my boxes.
If someone tells me a barbecue sauce is good, I will try a bite of it. Like no matter what.
Okay.
If someone says this is a really good barbecue sauce that I like, I will try it. There have been some that I think this isn't bad. You know, never have I had a barbecue sauce that I want more of. But some have been like not bad. Some I think are gross. And that's just where we
do
are.
not like the vinegar sauces.
Okay.
Or those
Yeah.
barbecue
Okay,
sauces.
I'm with that too.
I just don't like vinegar flavors. That like salt and vinegar chips. I'm just not a big fan
best. I love
They
salt
just,
and
like-
vinegar chips.
Okay,
Burned my mouth
so
a little bit.
we're over here and Agro's over
Yeah.
Wait, you guys don't like salt and vinegar chips? You're such
No.
children. What are
No.
you talking about? Salt and vinegar chips own. They're
here.
so good.
They taste like vinegar, bro. Who wants
Yeah.
their potatoes to taste like vinegar?
Funny story. When I was really little,
I drank vinegar.
I'm getting there. My aunt was who would like watch me when my mom was at work, and her daughter was a few years younger than me, and if I was misbehaving, which was typically like trolling her daughter, and very much so misbehaving, my punishment was that I would get a spoonful of vinegar in my mouth. That was my punishment.
This explains so much.
And so over
This is
time, I realized that I didn't really mind the taste of vinegar, but I didn't
So
ever.
Stockholm syndrome. yourself.
Yeah, more or less.
Like
And I never told her that I liked vinegar because then she thought it was still a punishment, and so I could misbehave and not get punished. Was what I realized.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot about your taste buds now, and it just explains so much that you've
So
had
this is how you
spoonfuls of
became
vinegar.
who you are.
Genius, baby.
Yeah, right.
I know. I outplayed her, guys. There's nothing else to say. Okay, she got outplayed. Sorry,
It's like
CC,
his
you got owned.
superhero story. He just drank vinegar as a kid.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I got a lot of spoonfuls. Let's put it that way. In answer to the original question, I am a hot sauce on chicken nuggets kind of guy, bar none. I don't want to eat like Da Bomb or any like of these crazy hot sauces. It doesn't make any sense to me. But in particular, there's one hot sauce that this podcast is not sponsored by, but I have had an agreement with in the past. I'm going to give them a shout out because they're good people. I found a hot sauce at my uncle owns a winery, and I would go to wine shows to like help him sell his wine. And at a lot of these craft shows in the middle of like nowhere in PA, we met up with some people who owned a hot sauce business who were selling their hot sauce. And I wasn't really into hot sauce at the time, and it literally got me addicted to hot sauce. It was so good. And I still love it. It's still my favorite hot sauce to this day. It's George and Floyd's hot sauce. It is as troll as it sounds. Their website is georgeandfloydscountrykitchen.com. It is as troll as it sounds. It is literally like a man and his daughter who run it. They're unbelievably nice. It is the tiniest family business in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. You can order their hot sauce online. I highly recommend you do so. It is the best hot sauce I've ever had. I've made a million different people try it. It's the best. And it's, you know what, guys? It's a tomatoey. It has like you can tell there's like a good amount of tomato in there, but it's not so sugary. that it obliterates the flavor of your food. And that's why it's better than ketchup.
Yeah, there's 4 ingredients, and the third one's vinegar, so it explains a lot.
No wonder
this
it's delicious.
All tracking right now.
Wait, not kidding. Even if you don't like vinegar, you should try it. It's so good. I love those people. I love their hot sauce. I actually am out. I need to order some, and I'm going to do so like right after this.
Just go get a spoonful of vinegar, my God.
Just a little Frank's Red Hot and some vinegar, and you're banging. No, that's not true. No, listen. Tomato, it's not like an overwhelming tomato power. Someone immediately in chat is like, it can't be good if it's tomatoey. It's good. Just trust me, okay? It's delicious. If I'm wrong, you can come in the chat and I will ignore your message. Anyways, thanks for listening to the double une episode of the podcast. We got a little unhinged as expected, but Lormy, congratulations on shipping Ishtar. She's awesome.
Thank you.
I think people are gonna have a lot of fun, and I'm excited for seeing those sweet plays on Reddit and hearing about how she's totally balanced and not at all OP.
Definitely not OP. Cannot possibly be OP. If you tell me that she's OP, I'm sorry, but you're wrong, and that's definitely not.
Surely not. Also, like all of the buffs and nerfs that we did in 9.8 in general, like surely gonna go without any complaints or anything like that. Particularly,
I feel really good about it.
Yeah.
Real quick, the skins on this patch are sick.
Yeah, I know.
They're really good, aren't they?
They're so good,
Okay.
except for bun hats.
Am I right?
Well,
okay,
yeah.
hold on. Look,
yeah, bun hats.
I'm biased.
Yeah, no.
But,
as I've said, the voice pack hard carries this skin. The skin idea, not very good. The voice pack and voice acting, very good. And
dude, that voice actor goes so hard on the accent, like in the hammiest, cheesiest way possible, and it's so funny.
It's so funny. It's awesome. But yeah, make sure you guys check out Ishtar. She's releasing tomorrow if you're listening to this live, or she was already out if you're listening to it on your favorite podcast app. Speaking of which, while you're on that app, make sure you give us a good rating and check out all of Predictions' other shows. Shout out Mint Mobile. They are our sponsor for this episode. mintmobile.com/backliners for premium wireless service for just $15 a month, as we know. We will be back next week to talk probably about the patch notes as a whole, Bera. We got a little bit of downtime here between SPL, so we can do our deep dive on patch notes and that kind of stuff. Or we could talk about like barbecue sauce or something. I don't know.
Yeah, another AMA episode sounds fun in the downtime.
Yeah, true. We should get one of those together.
Or also chat anything you guys have ideas with, just DM me or aggro on Twitter.
Yes, definitely.
Anything you want us to talk about.
Always welcome for those things. Also, some cool things in the works behind the scenes for the Backliners podcast. Maybe by next week if I'm not super busy this week, which I know I will be for sure. My week is going to be an absolute nightmare.
We're going to have a great time.
I can maybe get it working, but in general, keep your eyes peeled. This is what we in the business like to call a teaser for something on the horizon for the Backliners podcast. So that should be fun. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks, Lemmy, for coming on. And Bera, you know what to do.
Bye.
2 in 1 day, and the man still got it.
Still got it. That was clean.
Unbelievable.